think when, like, I was that, like, because I only, that time, actually, I remember I only stayed awake to play the game with him, too. I remember now. I was like, yeah, no, I should go to bed. And then it was like, oh, play one more game. And I was like, all right, but so long as you won't ditch. I was like, if you ditch, I'm going to be pissed. I remember now. Oh, thank you. I know. I feel really good in it. Like, I feel good about it. And when I was, like, out everywhere else, like, because I'm sitting differently, it's like keeps cleavaging. Like, it works its way down. But, like, when I was out, it wasn't, like, cleavagey because I was sitting differently. But I've got to sit differently here because otherwise I'm going to end up flashing my gash with my legs crossed. So it's my legs crossed as pulling the dress in different directions. But it wasn't like revealing or anything. And although I still got groped up, wearing head to toe outfit like that is basically like it's how much more covered can I fucking be? It goes literally to my ankles. Like, actually, when I'm standing up, it actually goes to my ankles, and still fucking apparently I'm a tasty fucking treat. That was a joke. He's just a fucking creep. He used to be like, from what I remember of them, they were a polite person. So it's a real shame that they've gone full douchebag. But anyway. But yeah, I felt really good in it, knowing that, you know, it was covered, and I still felt good about myself. But that could also be because I had makeup covering my face, and I feel so much better when I've got makeup covering my face. But yeah, I felt very pretty. And then I was like, because I was angry at being touched up, I was like, right, switch up my songs. Because I was going to sing Jewel, You Were Meant For Me next. And I was like, right, fuck this. I'm going to sing angry screamo songs or whatever. So I put on Teenagers, My Chem, which is, you know, screamy enough for what they have at karaoke. They don't have much. And then it was Face Down. Oh, thank you. Oh, it's been a good day for that. People have been lovely. But yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna sing some angry songs, and oh my god, it was so much fun. I felt like it was more fun singing those kind of songs in this outfit because it was just such a contradiction of things. Like the yeah, I don't know. I liked it. The contrast between the dainty, prissy dress or whatever, like, I don't know another word to use. Prissy sounds offensive, but I don't mean it to be offensive. I mean, like, it's like how some people say diva is an offensive term, but it's not always meant to be offensive. Diva can be a compliment type thing. Anyway, but, you know, so I liked the contrast of that to I was like fully getting into it, and then I was singing Face Down, getting right into it, and this fucker goes, oh, I'm so fucking funny, and he goes and he picks up my camera and he's like fucking wonky boots. I'm like, fucking put it back. And so then I have to go fix it up, and I have to check that it's like in the right way, because just him fucking putting it back is not going to do much, because you got to like center it and all that shit. So I've gone to fix it up during my fucking song, and I'm like, oh. So I got really mad, and I'd put back my thing, like, I don't know how much people have watched it, but I have a thing that's basically like this, but I like click it. Aw, thank you. But like, you click it, and like, it's a dog clicker, like, so you train dogs with it. Anyway, I use that, and it like hangs around my wrist, and it keeps me calm, so I usually click it. But because I was like going to get real into the song, I didn't want it flicking and hitting my wrist and getting in the way. So I'm like getting ready to sing this like real aggro song. And then this fucker just picks up the camera. And then because of the thing with the guy and smacking, like touching up my ass earlier, and I just was so annoyed. And I started like digging my nails in. And so I was like, so then my hands hurt because I was like gripping the microphone like so fucking tight, like claws. And I was like, it annoyed me because I put back my little, I can't remember the word, but the thing that stops me from digging my nails into myself and hurting myself. So I was real fucking peeved that he did it right after I'd put it back. I was like, so I was annoyed at myself. So I try not to do that shit. But I just feel like some people would be better off if they just had a slight smack across the face and realized that, you know, they're being dicks. Because just saying to them they're being dicks, they don't seem to hear that. I feel like I'm not allowed to advocate violence. I'm just saying that some people make me wish that we could advocate violence on here. Like, if I was being that much of a dickbag, I feel like I would want someone to just give me a light smack. Just a light snap out of it, you're being a dickbag. You're treating people with no respect for no reason. Put their shit down. Smack. Just a light tap. Like the other day, some dick goes, like, you know, I don't know what the laws are around you all, but here, we're not allowed to smoke in buildings anymore. And this fuckhead grabs his cigarette and it's just like, like blows it in like my face, and then puts out the cigarette inside on the ground. And I just look at it and I'm like, you right, mate? Like, walks inside to continue smoking, which is illegal, and then butts it out on the floor. I was like, could you be any more disrespectful, you piece of just you know? just some people, they just ruin a good night out. I did thoroughly enjoy the water show with the guys putting water on themselves. With the one I like taking his shirt off and then just like all dripping. I kissed his face and then he was like, nah, and I was like, see, you just like the chase. So I was like, fuck, what have I done? Should not. Because he kissed my face, and then I kissed his face to say goodbye. And I went to kiss his mouth. I was like, you know, granted, I was like grabbing his face, and I was like, bum, 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 bum. But it wasn't in like, you know, he's previously given consent, and I've given him consent. It's just, he was making a joke. He was like, nah, you said no too many times. No. Like, fuck you. So now he's just playing it coy. And I was like, see, I've proved that you're just joking and it's all about the chase. And then I went to walk away and I was like, right, now you can leave me alone and not flirt with me anymore. And then he was like, oh no, it's just getting started now. I was like, fuck. So I really thought that I'd call his bluff, like if I went for the kiss, because he's, you know, not my type. And I was like, I thought for sure if, you know, since he's been trying to get me to, I thought, you know, if I did, that I was like, I think he just likes the fact that I said no. I think he's not used to that. I think that's it. But he reckons that I'm pretty cool. I wish I could feel that way about someone that actually wants to date me. Awesome! Thanks for the follow before. It came up earlier. Good to see you. I have the follower only on, I just realised. I did. Yep. Sang a few songs. What did I sing first? There was one that wasn't an angry song that I sang first. It was awful. It was so bad. I think it was absolutely everybody. It was like absolutely everybody in the whole wide world. Actually, I just remembered afterwards the girl who told me to bite her, because there was a chick that, like, this chick goes, "Oh, you were so great up there," and I was like, "I think you're thinking of someone else." And they were like, "No, it was you. You were great up there." And I was like, "Really? I think you're wrong." But okay, and they like hugged me, and I went to say goodbye, and like as I've like you know when you hug someone, they've like, because of the height difference, I guess, like the way that their arm went, I was like my lips touched their arm, and I got a bit of lipstick. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because my teeth, like as I was moving away, like my teeth copped her just a bit, like accidentally, like I was like moving away, like I think I was talking while moving away. I'm not really sure, but either way, I like my tooth like touched her, but like my lipstick was there, and I was like, "Oh, so sorry about the lipstick and biting you." And she's like, "No, you can bite me." And so she goes like this, and she goes, "You can bite me. Go on, do it." She goes, "Bite me." And I was like, she goes, "Bite me." And so I was like, "Oh, sorry." I've nibbled on her arm. And I'm like, "Oh, sorry about the lipstick." And then she's just like, "Oh, fun." And then like goes to like, kiss, and then just ends up kissing me. And I'm like, "You taste like raspberries or something." And then they were like, she's like, "You're the first person who's ever said that." And I was like, "Well, I think it's what you were eating. I don't think it's that you just naturally taste like raspberries, love." Like what you were drinking, sorry. And then she's like, "But I haven't had anything like raspberry." And I was like, "I don't know." And then she did it again. And I was like, fucking weird day. What a weird day. Yep. So, yeah. This is my YouTube. Oh no, that was my howling before. There it is. No? That one. That should be my YouTube. So, I'm gonna start doing like more streams on my YouTube, so there'd be less, I guess, pressure than there is on my Twitch, because on my Twitch I feel like, I've built it up so far, and there are people who might be, more bored by me just sitting here. But my YouTube is sort of a bit new-ish, so it's gonna be I'm gonna try and sort of just be on there more. So that's one specific video that it's actually it's done pretty well, but it's like I watch that now and I'm like, oh, it's so cringy, because it was like, I was new to the whole acting thing, and I was tired, and I filmed a lot of auditions in the one day. I did a few all in a row, and with different wigs and different costumes and stuff. And that one was my Harley Quinn one, and it's just it's so fucking cringy, like ultimate cringe. Like in a few years' time, that'll be still one of the cringiest things I've ever done. It is so cringy. Oh, so cringy. But anyway, so it'll be more stuff like just when I'm eating, and stuff that's not interesting, but you know, sometimes I chat and stuff, I guess, that makes it interesting, but I just feel like it'd be a little bit less pressure than on my Twitch, and my Twitch will probably be more like, as I want to try and shift more over to the YouTube. The terms of service and stuff on Twitch make me a little bit frustrated. It's just like, you know, like earlier, if I accidentally, like earlier, I got up and I'm in pajamas, but my pajamas, when I got up, my pajamas had moved down, so I had like a plumber's crack, and then I have to I had to end my stream early, and thankfully I've got the delay of 30 seconds, so I had to delete that end bit by pressing discard of the end, and shit like that. I don't like on YouTube. I feel like there's less pressure of that. Like, there's actual nude bodies and shit on fucking YouTube when it's for science and art and shit, but yeah, I feel like those accidental, like if I accidentally flash my, like when I lean down, sometimes when I lean down even in jumpers, it accidentally, like, it doesn't show nipple, but like it shows a lot, you know, because like just me leaning down, the way my implants are shaped, that's just the way it is. So, but on Twitch that can be highlighted, and it's, you know, it's easier to lose my account that way, I guess, whereas with YouTube I can quickly end it and just delete it, and it's not as much of a big deal, I guess. So I feel like that's sort of part of it. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like on here it's more expected that I play games and things like that. And right now my computer's a piece of crap, and my new computer I don't want to use until I have a keyboard protector on it. So until then, I'm not playing games, and I feel like people are a bit disappointed, I guess. But I try and put in the title when I'm just literally just sitting there eating and boring or whatever. I literally put the word boring there, so that, you know, like, that's not to say that interesting things won't happen. It's just to let people know that, you know, I'm not playing a game, I'm just being myself. And there are people who've asked for me to stream just like that because they miss me. So this way, on my YouTube, if they miss me, they can watch me, and it's not that exciting, but they're still happy, and then I can still keep my Twitch a little bit less cluttered, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably be streaming like more often. Sometimes it might only be for 10 minutes or, you know, whatever, but I just want to try and get my hours up on YouTube. So yeah, it's just yeah, something I'm trying. It's a very, yeah, someone with a lot of anxiety, the job I have chosen to do for a living makes no sense. So I do things that try and work around that anxiety. So yeah, you know, I hope that will be something good. Yeah, I know there are a lot of people who make all their money based on just in real life streaming, but I mean, I don't think that I'm that interesting most of the time. I think I do things that are really weird now and then. I think my personally, like, if I were judging myself, I would think that my highlights are really good sometimes. Like, there are some highlights that I'm like, I watch them and I'm like, holy fuck, did I really say that? Did I really do that? Like, there are some good highlights, like, you know, ones where I'm like throwing pumpkin over myself and shit, like you know, that sort of stuff I think is funny. But there was also a lot of time in between that where I was carving the pumpkin that's not that interesting. So I think my highlights are probably better than my full stream as a whole, because there are times where I'm streaming for like 10 hours at a time. So if I'm streaming for 10 hours, I've run out of things to say. And I also don't like repeating myself, because there are some people who are there at the start to the end and they'll hear the story over again. So I don't know whether I should repeat myself for the new people and say, hey, this is something funny that happened to me today, or, you know. So that way, if it's on my YouTube, You know, it'll be like a disclaimer. I'm gonna tell this story probably 10 times, so fuck you if you don't like it. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'll feel more at ease. I do know that the fact that I talk with my hands, and because of the way the camera is, like, and my T-Rex arms, it's so weird when I'm talking to people in real life, though. I'll be talking to people in real life, but I still do the arms to where you can see on the camera and I'm showing things with my hands. So in real life, like the guy that I like, I'm so fucking bad. But I'm there and he'll be like talking to me and I'm like like T-Rex arming, and he's just like, I can see this look on his face, like when we first started talking, and he's like you alright, mate? Because I'm just, so then I did this, and then it's like this, and like, but because I'm keeping it to here, because usually I cut the camera off about here so that I don't get trolls that are like, boobs, then they say I'm fat, so because I cut it off there, I'll look more chunky. You can't fucking win. But, you know, because the camera is usually like on my phone right now, like there's a bit more, but like when I'm holding it here, there's not really much of me, so the T-Rex arms, and I'm like, look like such a fuck. Yeah, that's why I don't listen to radio though. It's because it plays so many times. I can't stand most of the songs on the radio once, let alone that many times. But you've got a good point. I do like, I like what you're getting at. I'm catching what you're throwing. Think of it like radio. That is, yeah. And people can choose to stay for that song or leave and come back when the song's over. You're a genius. That's good. You like the weirdness. Well, that's what he likes as well, actually, to be honest. Like, it's strange, because, like, I always felt like I've never fit in, ever, except for acting. Like, when I'm on stage, you know, that's different. But, like, actually behind the scenes, like, for film and music videos and stuff, the people there are very similar to me, so I get along with them, but long term I probably wouldn't vibe with them very well long term, I guess. But I feel like the only place I've ever fit in at all in any regard is acting. That's the only time I've ever felt like I feel like I fit in. And even then, I'm still often the weird one, the odd one out, because I'm still always wearing something or doing something that's just that little bit different. And I always hated myself for being that person. Like, I was always just like to, even tonight, I walked away from the club, and I walked away, and I'm walking away, and I'm like talking to myself, and I'm like, what did I just do? Why? And all I can think is that the person who's like watched me leave the club is watching this person, but like from behind, all they're seeing is just I'm like yelling at myself as I walk away, and I'm just like like all of those things that I do. Oh, there is someone in my YouTube. Hello. But all those things that I do that are weird, like the mannerisms, the way my mouth moves a bit funny, like I do like this side mouth thing when I get really nervous, and like I'll pull faces, like, you know, just I like when I meet people that are friends with my friends, like if I'm sitting with someone that I know and they'll have someone walk up and introduce, I'm just like, hang on, I'll try and do the face naturally so it's more, hang on. That's the face that greets these people. It's like, hi! But like, I can't make my face do a normal, like, I'm like, okay, be normal this time, be normal. Like, I really, like, I hated myself for not fitting in. Even when I try sometimes very hard. Like, people are like, oh, I love that you're you and you just don't care what people think and stuff. I'm like, I care what people think a lot. I just can't change how much I don't fit in. Thank you for following, Ensa. Like, there's nothing I can do. I'm always going to be that odd one. And I just, since streaming, I've realized, like, or more so, I suppose one of the films that I did spin out, this person who's like one of my idols, who basically complimented that weirdness that I have, the unique clothes and whatever, like, all those things. And it was after a really abusive relationship. Sometimes I do, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I'd like to just fit in a crowd and just not have anything stand out and just you know. But that's not me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, for him, that was the thing that it put me in front of the camera more, is the fact that I was different. And so I started to be like, oh, maybe I'm not a worthless sack of shit like my ex had told me that I am. Maybe I'm not. You know, multiple exes, actually, if we're being honest. You know, and if multiple people say it, you think, maybe it is me. It must be me. But then, and like lately, like with the handsome chap that I fancy at the club, like, every time I go there, he's like they're little things that I don't think that I look that noticeably different or whatever. But he's like, he'll be like, well, I like your pants tonight. And I'm just like, you know, they don't seem that out of place to me. But he's like, yeah, no, they're great. Nice, you know. And like, just, that doesn't seem like much, obviously. But it's him noticing, like, you know, my headband. He'll be like, oh, I like that headband tonight. And, you know, he'll be like, oh, I liked the other headband with the this, and he'll like describe different outfits or whatever. And it's like, the things that make me weird and different is the things that he actually likes about me. So I'm like, I'm starting to see an appreciation for the weird stuff, and I'm sort of just, you know, like when you just give up and just go with it. So I've started to just give up and just let the current take me, you know? Yes, well, I'm trying to be that way. See, like, I always was, like, proud of the fact that I was insanely crazy. I was always, like, you know, like, I wear that like a badge of honor. You know, it's like, I'll set your shit on fire. Like, I'm not advertising that I set shit on fire or anything. Twitch, don't ban me. Set shit on fire, though. Radar Tube, hello, welcome. Thanks for coming into my YouTube. So yeah, I'm just trying to go with the current now of the fact that I'm weird, and just accepting it. And I've seen this show, Schitt's Creek, and I know, and like, before I knew that I did the hand thing, like before I realized I did the T-Rex arms, I remember watching her and I'm like, what is she doing? And she's like doing this weird shit with her hands. And it was only well after, like, I realized I do this. And I'm watching the show, and I'm watching her doing this fucking thing. There was one bit specifically that I recorded, and she just walks out of the room, and she's like, and then she runs into something, like a filing cabinet, which I'm constantly walking into walls, and just the moment that she crashes into it, when she's like trying to be like fucking cute, I don't know, it's just like, it's not so bad. Like, at least it's entertaining, I mean, you know? Oh yeah, no, That's a no-go. It's not gonna go anywhere for many, many reasons. And he's too young. We want different things in life. It's just nice to have someone that, you know, notices. Bye. Good night. um, so yeah, try to embrace the weirdness. Oh, well, thank you. I wish that I could chat from there. Alright, well, on that note, oh, my beautiful Lost Cause is on. Okay, so I'm gonna, if you want to stick around, Lost Cause is amazing. Wait, I can do a new thing. No. So Lost Cause is like been there from almost the beginning as well. Just a champ. So if you're on my Twitch as well, if you're on my YouTube and my Twitch right now, check out Lost Cause. So well, I went to a theatre production for, like, it was different works of Shakespeare. So there was the first bit is sitting and standing and watching the, like, kind of like the MC, I guess, chat and make jokes. And then we went through to this, like, forest, which they got the trees loaned to them from some Christmas tree place. So that was really cool, because later on I went up and I sniffed them, and oh, like, I love the smell of the pine trees, the Christmas trees. They're so nice, and it just, oh, it's been so long since I've gotten to smell that, let alone I've never smelt like so many in a row. Like, there was so many of them. It didn't seem like there was that many when you walk through in the day, but like when they're all lined up next to each other, you realize how many trees they had, and it was a fair bit. So you go in there and it's like a fake forest, and the stage and everything, and so they played out a little bit there. Went into a shed, and then there was like the witch's cauldron bubbling, and that actually gave me like chills. Like, I actually got like goosebumps, because the sound that they had for the thunder, I don't know what they were using, but like, it was intense. It sounded like actual thunder in the room. It was crazy. And so then we left there and go into a different room, and then there's like people, like lights coming on in different sections of the room and doing stuff. And there was a lot of political jokes, which I thought was funny, because they like incorporated the political jokes from then to now and like mixed them together. That was really awesome. And then we went into another room, and there was like this stage, a square stage with like chairs all around, and then this other stage that like went off to the side. It was so different. I've never seen anything done that way, and it was really cool. The costumes were black pants and black shirt though. Not really Shakespearean like I was expecting, so I went dressed like this and stood out a lot, like a lot, because I thought they'd all be, you know, in costume, but they weren't, so it was just me in costume. It looked very awkward. It was, but again, I just embraced it. I was like, fuck it, I've worn it, and I'm just gonna, you know, like, the way I described it was, it's like if you go see Scissor Sisters or whatever, you're gonna dress up with your 80s gear and your fucking crimped hair and shit. So I just see theatre as the same thing. Like, when I go, I dress in theme as like a support, the band type thing. I need to stretch my legs. Oh my god. Oh. So yeah. They're just large metal sheet they shake. No, it was a recording. So I don't know what they, like, the recording sounded like it almost could have been like a motorbike revving kind of, I don't know. I'll have to ask one of the ladies. Just do me. No, I'm getting, like I said, you know, with the person that I was sort of friends with benefits, whatever we were in the last few months, he's not in my life now. We're not friends anymore. But he's one of the reasons as well that I'm starting to just embrace it. Like, he too was like, you know, always complimenting the weird stuff, and I was like, is that weird? Like, the thing that I think it's taken some getting used to is realizing how many of the things that I did was weird. I'm like, isn't that like, is that weird? And he'd be like, yes. Like, okay. So it's just, like, I was always fine with the level of weird that I thought that I was, if that makes sense. Like, I was always fine with that. I was fine that I was weird. I just didn't realize how many other things I did that were weird. That took some getting used to, realizing that a lot of the things I do, he would point out, don't. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, you know, he liked it temporarily. Obviously, we're not friends now, so whatever I did was too much. But I'm going with the current, and I'm starting to just embrace it. So sometimes there are days where I guess I don't want to stand out as much, so I sort of tone it down a little bit. But yeah, like I said, you know, I'm wearing sneakers at the club and stuff like that, with a like nice dress and sneakers and shit. So, and you know, I've got like socks on that go to like up my leg and things. So like, even on those days I still have my weird thing, but I'm starting to just be like less upset, I guess, when people go nice socks and, you know, whatever. I try and think, well, they're just jealous that they don't have cool socks. Like I said, I still care, but the thing is, I saw this quote in something I watched the other day. I can't remember what it. Oh, I can't even remember who she is. She's like from, I think, Crazy Rich Asians. She was not the lead, but like the lead's friend. And she said how her voice was, because like people tease the fact that I switch accents all the time. Like, even the guy that I like, I something, we were talking, and then he's like, yeah. So I noticed that. I don't know why. Just anyway, she was saying how like her voice is like a crazy grandma or something, like, you know, and how people have mocked her for that voice, like her whole life, because she's always had that voice basically from being a child, and how sometimes she scares herself. But it was something she said, and I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was something along the lines of, if you could tell your younger self anything, what would you tell yourself? And it was like, you're weird, but that'll come in handy someday. Now, I'm not quoting it verbatim, but it was along the lines of that. And I was like, fair call. You know, I always hated myself for all those things that made me weird. But if I had have embraced my weirdness when I was younger, I might have done more things with my life. I wouldn't have been as scared to be around people because I'm weird. I would have just, if I just had have embraced it, I could have been more. So now I don't want to give more time, you know, away. I want to just accept. So I'm not really at the loving the fact that I'm always going to be weird even when I try not to be weird. But I'm at the stage of accepting that I'm always going to be weird even in the times when I try not to stand out. I'm still going to stand out and take it as a good thing. You know, that's what makes me, when I'm on stage, get put to the front of the stage. From the moment I started at the Wedding Singer, from memory, the first day of rehearsals, I'm sure it was the first day. It was either the first day or the second day. But I remember Ray being like, look, I want you at the front. Just try and just sort of make your way up there. Because I was like, no. Like, I was sort of hiding back, and I moved like a row ahead, but I couldn't really get, and I'm not like a pushy person most of the time, like in that regard. So I didn't want to like push my way to the front, even though she told me to. I couldn't really do it subtly. And then finally she was just like, Eva, to the front now. And I was like, whoa. And like, it was that I didn't think that I was doing anything that, you know, different, but they saw something more. So, and that happens in most of the plays that I do. I sort of just end up getting put, you know, to the front. And like, that also is part of the reason why, I guess, you know, there's one specific person who'll make my costumes more bland. And I've come to realize that it's because even when I try not to stand out, I was still standing out. So that's why they were trying to make my costume more bland. And now I don't hate, like, I hated myself. I hated my body. I was like, why has she got like 13-year-olds wearing very little, but she's making me get fully covered? Like, what's wrong with my body? And I did my own head in for a while, and you know, people were like, it's because your body is the way that it is that she's trying to cover you. And I was like, no, and I couldn't hear it, you know. Yeah, I think weird is somebody else's opinion. Like I said before, you know, there's weird, and then like, if there's a general consensus that you're the weird one in a group of 10 people, if they're like, yo, you're a fucking weirdo, 10 people's opinion means you're fucking weird. Like, if like a few of them are seen as weird or whatever, but if you're the only one being seen as weird, it makes you feel like trash. But again, that's the thing that's gonna make me stand out. So if in 10 years or 15 years or 20 years time I get to do what I want to do, which is act and whatever, and it's because of those times where I was weird and I stood out to just the right person at the right time, then that's a good thing. So yeah, it's part of why I think I kept my blonde hair for so long, because, you know, I kind of wanted to see whether or not things were different than when I had my rainbow coloured hair. But yeah, like I still stand out. Like when I'm at the club, like I'll be there, and then people have said, like, I didn't even have to see you turn around, I just knew it was you, like, by my outfit. Like, you know, that's cool. It's cool that, you know, I didn't have to turn around, they just, you know, could tell it was me because I stood out. So, you know, God, just embrace it. Just some days it's harder than others to be okay with that. But yeah, I'm getting there. I guess I'm like, you know, when I'm out, I'm usually not wearing makeup and things like that. And I thought that would be a lot harder to do. And it's just become so easy that I kind of forget that I'm not wearing makeup now. But yeah, I definitely feel more confident talking to people when I've got the makeup on. Like, I feel more, you know, and yes, I know it's like all wearing off now in all the wrong spots, but I'll see tonight with the guy that I fancy. I said, what would you do if I dye my mustache multicolored? And he's like, I'm not afraid of getting with a dude. And I was like, well, see, that just makes you hotter, but moving on. Because I was like saying the other day how I hate that, like, because right now you can kind of see just this like faint line from my mustache. So, you know, thanks genetics. And like there was this stage in high school, I was just talking about this the other day, I can't remember who with, but I think Noxie. About in high school, I was so against my body hair, like just in general everywhere, like just against body hair. So like, I don't know if you can see, but I've got like the little wispy bits there. So I didn't have my mum around, she was in Queensland and we weren't talking. And so I thought that was like sideburns, and I was like, oh, I'm so hurt, and like people are gonna think that I'm like a boy, and like, oh, they look like sideburns. So I shaved them. So then I got sideburns. Like, in trying not to have sideburns, I gave myself sideburns. So, like, obviously, and like in school, you know, you can't like have your hair like all down in your face while you're trying to do the schoolwork, but I like having my hair down in my face, and I like having my face covered. This was the look for me. But like if I have my hair up, like, and I've got these like, and like at that stage I had like jet black hair, so I've got like the brown part there and like the jet black hair. It just was so noticeable. And I was plucking my nose hairs as well. Like I plucked my nose hairs, singular nose hairs. Like I plucked my nose hairs. I was waxing like my hair. Like there's nothing there, like really. But like I was waxing like that. I was mental about hair. I have no fucking clue. But anyway, and so I would see like hairy armpits and be like, you know, oh, gross. Because society has told us that on women it's gross, you know, like it's how we've been raised to think. And I'm like I'm angry at myself now that I've had that opinion, you know, in the past, that I've felt that way, or like with hairy legs and stuff. So now like I've got hairy legs, so I've decided, because there was this, like, I can't even remember which actress, it was like Grace Kelly maybe. Well, yeah, no, feel free to look at almost all of my streams from the last fuck knows how long. I've basically not streamed with makeup on in forever. Nose waxed. Oof. Where they put like the actual thing and then like they pull it out by a stick, because that looks like fun, honestly. But the other day I was like, they shared this like I said, I think it was Grace Kelly, and she happened to have like hairy underarm, but like light amount of fur. Anyway, and the comments was like, oh, gross, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, how dare someone have what men have all the time and it's fine, like. And I was like, I'm gonna work with this. So I've decided that I'm going to dye, because like I've seen it done where they've dyed their underarm hair. So I'm leaving it grow and I'm gonna dye it. And I decided I'm gonna dye my mustache. And like I've had, I don't know if you can see, like that's been growing since last year, I think. So I've got my, I know, considering that's been growing since last year. Hang on, I gotta figure out how to make that stay. No. Where's that one? Maybe if I do this. There we go. So that's been growing since last year, and that's not bad. But see, when I was younger and going through that phase of hair, I plucked my eyebrows so bad that I had only one line. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. I had like basically what was like one teeny tiny line of eyebrow. It was stupid. So stupid. And my mum's like, when we spoken, Mum was like, yeah, no, don't do that, because like apparently she also, when she was younger, did this thing where she would like, when she was nervous, she would pull her hairs out. So now my mum has to draw on her eyebrows. Like every day my mum draws on her eyebrows. She has like a tiny little wispy bit, but basically she draws on her eyebrows every day, and she's like, don't get rid of it. It won't grow back. It fucking barely has. So I like, and because of like the way I've done it, like because I'm not good with mirror image, it's like one was like in more than the other one. So I basically have left it grow for like the last like a long time to try and get that one side to fill in that didn't. It's still not filling in though. Anyway, so I was like, fuck it, we're not supposed to have an unibrow, whatever. So I've decided I'm going to dye that too. It's going to be fun though. I think it'll be fun. I think, again, it's like, I've gone with the flow of that I'm never going to fit in. So fuck it. I will stand out and stand out well. So I'm like, yeah, because like people come in here all the time and they're like, oh, are you a dude? Are you born a dude? Blah. And I'm just like, why are you insulting males by asking if I was a man? Like, they're saying it like it's an insult, and I'm like, a lot of the world are males. Like, there's a large percentage of them floating about. I'm not sure why it's an issue. So, they want to call me a dude, whatever. Fuck it. I will dye my mustache. A mustache, sure, question. But yeah, like even my legs, they're not that hairy considering how long, like it's been a couple of months. But, you know. Bye. No, I'm thinking rainbow. So I'll probably dye it in patches of rainbow, because like if I just dye one color and one color and one color, it'll drive me nuts that it's not like even. Like if it's uneven, it needs to be a certain kind of uneven, like it has to be evenly uneven. So I feel like I need to like do it in bits like that, and then like there I'll probably do it like I'm probably going to do it like maybe 3 colors for that one if I can. There's really not that much hair there, and there's not really that much under my underarms yet, but you know, like, fuck it. It's gonna be nerve-wracking. But I found after I did grow my hair out that I've had a lot more of an appreciation for that look. I still personally prefer to not have the hair there, because like I like the feeling of like when I epilate, which rips the hair from the roots, which is why my underarm and my legs don't really grow that much hair, is because I've epilated, and epilating permanently removes the hair. It removes it from the root, and then like it's only new hairs that grow, like as opposed to when you're shaving, you're just shaving that same hair and it's growing more and more in it, next to it as well, so it fills in thicker. But anyway, but I do like the feeling much more. I also like that with my underarms being done, I'm not sweaty and stuff, so you know, there are benefits to not having hair, and I personally don't, you know, I'm still not really there with defining it. Like, I personally still can't, you know, enjoy it, I guess. But maybe the more I do that kind of stuff, the more I'll have an appreciation for it. So, yeah. I still do prefer the feeling of leaves, like, freshly done, because it's nice, like, the way they rub together. I just like it. But not the feeling of the hair together. But I feel like I want to do it as a statement that will help other younger generations. It sounds stupid, but you know, for me, it took seeing people that I admire doing certain things and being okay with it for me to be okay with myself. So, you know, maybe there'll be someone who'll see that I've got hairy legs and just be like, oh cool, I'm not that weird because I have hairy legs, and they'll feel better about themselves too. So yeah. There is someone in the YouTube. Hello. That was probably a really scary face. It'll drop down to 0 now because I'll be like, what was that? It is 3:30. I need to get this tired ass face to bed. Appreciate the chat. And the nose waxing could be fun though for a stream. Be painful though. I remember that feeling of like just singular hairs coming out. Oh, nose hairs, they're just, and like the sneezing when you try and like do it, like because it tickles up in there. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Okay. Aww. Awesome, that's so sweet. Alright. So if you want to stick around, I don't know where it's up to. Nose hairs, they're just, and like right now. Okay. Right. Oh, there's 2 people in here now. Hello.
So it's the base of operations is the White House, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying goodbye to my friend who I just rated on Twitch. So just give me a little moment.
Oh my god, I love this gun.
Sinful, thank you for that. Holy crap, Sinful.
Whoa.
Just shout out Sinful here real quick.
Did you guys recruit a Nile?
Did we recruit what?
Did you recruit anyone for the base of operations?
No?
That's
Since
where
you
we
were
need
mock
to.
crafting that way.
That's
Yeah,
where we need to go.
well, I mean, I'm heading that way right now.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to do it while you're at the base or something.
I'm going to the safe house, not
Okay.
No, you gotta go
Not
to
the
the
White
base of
House quite yet.
operations.
It's telling me to go to the safe house first, and I think if I go to the safe house, I can fast travel to the White House. So B, when you do it, you have to do the same thing as Apex. You have to like run through a tutorial real quick. Once you do the tutorial, we'll run the first mission with you.
Okay. I'm gonna eat into the tutorial now.
Hey, you're good.
Left.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Over the car.
Where's the prisoners?
I got tired of them moaning.
So you let them go?
No, I didn't let them go.
Motherfucker, we were gonna trade them.
Oh well.
That's what you're gonna tell Diesel when he asks why you killed them?
You didn't kill them. The dogs did.
What dogs?
I don't know, some dogs. I think that's their fucking names. Oh, but they must have been fucking hungry. Cause damn, once they sniffed blood, it was chow time.
You stupid son
So
of
are you
a
guys
bitch.
making your way to the safe house, or you guys just going straight to...
He's like,
I'm going to the White House.
I'm gonna head off. Thank you for watching. If you're watching it later, which someone did earlier, that was really, really sweet of my friend. Yeah. Again, I don't expect that. So when you do that kind of stuff, it means a lot that you take time out of your day to watch me talk nonsense. I'm a little emotional because I don't want to be alone. I have so much feelings today. I miss having my friend. But yeah, gonna grab something to eat. I need a fart, so I'm gonna do that. Actually, I might just do that now. No, I'm kidding. I scared it back up. Anyway, yeah. So, thanks for watching. I love how there's like that sunbeam looking fucking light there. Like, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, crikey. Life like Tim doesn't give a shit. Oops. Alright, good night.